Hello and welcome to another episode of Susfaction.
Yes, today is a Kyle-centric episode, and I'm Kyle.
And I'm Isella, and we're your hosts.
Just a disclaimer: if you hear, I live on the main street in our town, so if you hear honks or loud engines, it's the window outside my house. I can't help it. People drive like nuts around here.
And it's a lovely day, so
Yes,
your windows are probably open.
they are. But today was a surprise episode.
Yes.
Because I have two cryptids to talk about. Now, they're very similar. That's why I grouped them together.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the Penanggalan and the Manananggal.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, you've I just want to warn our listeners because you already warned me that they are very creepy.
Mm-hmm. They are very creepy. They're if it's trigger warning, they're gory. A gory cryptid.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Malaysia. The Penanggalan is a supernatural creature from the Malay folklore, especially associated with Malaysia and Indonesia. The Penanggalan is typically described as a floating woman's head with its internal organs, such as the stomach and intestines, entrails, dangling beneath it.
Mm.
Active mainly at night, it is a vampire-like being that feeds on blood, particularly associated in folklore with pregnant women, new mothers, and infants.
Okay.
The name comes from the Malay word tangal or tangal, meaning to detach or to separate. According to legend, the Penanggalan detaches its head from its body at night and flies in search of victims. Traditional methods said to ward it off include thorny plants around the windows, sharp objects near entryways, and certain herbs and protective rituals. The Penanggalan is closely related to other Southeast Asian legends, including the Philippine Manananggal, though the Manananggal is usually depicted as an entire upper torso with wings, while the Penanggalan is primarily a detached head and trailing organs. Now, the Manananggal.
Oh.
The Manananggal is one of the most famous monsters in Philippine folklore. It is often described as a beautiful woman by day who transforms at night into a terrifying creature. I've heard some conflicting stories that usually by day they are a haggard woman, old
Okay.
witch type, the crone of the town or village,
Okay.
and at night she hunts her victims from the village, and she hops village to village. According to legend, the Manananggal separates at the waist, leaving its lower body behind. Its upper torso grows large bat-like wings and flies through the night. It feeds on human blood and is especially associated in folklore with pregnant women and unborn children. It uses its long, thin tongue to reach victims through windows or roofs.
Ew.
Yeah. The name comes from the Tagalog word tanggal, meaning to remove or to separate.
Okay.
So they both have very similar names.
Right.
And they're very similar creatures.
And the victims are
Yeah. Traditional stories claim that if someone finds the lower half of the creature while it's away, they can sprinkle salt, crushed garlic, ash, urine, or other substances on it. This supposedly prevents the upper body from rejoining the lower body before sunrise, causing the creature's death.
I could see how salt, because you use salt in like spells.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely what was the other one? Garlic, because it makes me think of like a vampire. You said that it consumes blood. Yeah.
Its cultural significance is part of a broader family of Philippine supernatural beings known as the Aswang.
Oh.
Although traditions vary by region, stories about it have been passed down for generations and have appeared in Filipino books, films, television shows, and comics. So basically, now I'm taking this from a Reddit post.
Okay. Wait, 1 second before you do that. How did you hear about this thing?
Okay, that's actually a long story in its own story, but pause. I heard about Manananggals and Penanggalan from having cryptid books and from watching a ton of videos about SCPs. Now, SCP stands for Secure, Contain, Protect, and it's similar to like stories like um, Jack the Killer and Slenderman, as
Okay.
it's formed on the internet, and it is like a creepypasta kind of,
Okay.
but it's this foundation that contains anomalous objects, creatures, and other beings
Okay.
and other items. So it's really cool. I would suggest anybody listening to this to look into SCPs if you're interested, because there's a lot of really cool things. There's SCP-096, which is the Shy Guy.
Mm.
Um, there's SCP-675. I probably or 679, which is the hard to kill reptile.
Oh.
There's a lot of really cool ones. But I heard about them because the Manananggal is an SCP.
Oh, okay.
It's considered an SCP because it's anomalous, and it's like and it's region like the Aswang, all that
Yeah.
has its roots in kind of like magic.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes some sense because I was wondering. I was like, I've never heard of these things, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're like already into that side of like different types of lore and
Oh
whatnot, then
yeah, I love all kinds of lore, all types of traditional lore or like cultural lore.
yeah.
I get into folklore. I'm
Okay.
all about it. Like that whole bookshelf is like got lore written all over it. Okay, so back to the Reddit post. This girl was just I didn't credit her. My bad. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna Google it just to find her to credit her. But she was just doing what I'm doing here,
Oh.
describing the um uh pros and or the not the pros and cons, but the commonalities and the differences between the Penanggalan and the Manananggal.
Okay.
But she says so. Basically, the Manananggal is a Filipino mythological monster that has a similar background with Penanggalan. They are believed to be women who are cursed by their practice of black magic and transform themselves into a bat winged creatures that fly at night in search of prey. They bifurcate bifurcate themselves when they
Hmm.
transform. Thus their name, which has root word tangal, to remove, familiar or fairly similar to Penanggalan. Aside from their tendency to remove themselves from their bodies,
Mm.
they prey upon pregnant women. While the Penanggalan suck out the blood of the pregnant a la vampire style, Manananggals eat fetuses live. They
Oh.
sip with their forked tongue into a woman's womb and suck out the baby. They have often been attributed by folklore with miscarriages. Another similarity between the two is how they are disposed of, usually by adding either salt or ash to their body so they couldn't merge back to it. Another is hiding them so they couldn't rejoin their body.
Okay.
And thus is the story of the Penanggalan and the Manananggal. Um, there's a story about a young woman who is lives in this village in this small Filipino town,
Okay.
and she's doing her laundry by the river, but she's doing it late, and because she's chatty and talks too much,
Mhm.
she ended up falling behind, and so she's the last one getting her laundry done at the river while everyone has already scurried back to the village
Oh, so
before
she's
sundown.
alone.
Well, on her way back with her laundry in hand, something's rustling ahead of her, and it startles her. But it's
Hmm.
just this old crone that lives in the village,
Oh.
and she's like oddly at the right place at the right time. She's there to walk this young pregnant woman home,
Hmm.
and starts talking to her about like uh her eligibility and if there's a man in her life because she's pregnant. When's he coming home? Because he hasn't been seen around the village at all. Um, just asking her all these weird questions that are personal that
Yeah.
have nothing to do with her.
Like how serial killers try and find out if you'll be missed.
Yes, exactly. And she's clutching this young pregnant woman's wrist like kind of tightly as they walk down this path. Like it's just getting darker and darker. And like, luckily, she starts to see the village torches ahead of her, so she knows that she's coming close to home.
Mhm.
Well, she's still chatting with this old crone, and like the lady is starting to annoy her, and rightfully so. So once they get to her door, the old lady like loosens her grip, and she's on her way. And the pregnant lady goes into her, or the young pregnant woman goes into her home, and the crone hopefully just leaves, and she shuts the door in her face.
Yeah.
Well, um, later it's bedtime, and the pregnant woman is in bed, and she's asleep, and she's stirring. She's just trying to fall asleep. And there's something else going on that she's not aware of. And it is maybe a rat or like a raccoon or something crawling on her roof. And it's
Oh.
like making these annoying sounds that are just like kind of seeping into her subconscious while
Ugh.
she's dreaming. So she's having these weird, like in and out sleep phases
Yeah.
while she ends up falling asleep, but she has horrific dreams, just bad dreams
Oh.
of just bad things. And nothing in particular. They're just like loved ones getting hurt, or
Aw.
heartbreak,
Yeah.
or remembering, her first like lost pet and stuff like that.
Aw.
Well, these are all being caused by these noises on her roof.
Mhm.
And well, what this creature on her roof finds a hole,
Okay.
and in this hole comes down a long, skinny, forked, fleshy appendage.
Ugh.
And this hole is right above this pregnant lady's bed. Now, you would think that you couldn't reach the womb via the orifice of the mouth,
Uh-huh.
but somehow this forked appendage makes its way into this pregnant woman's mouth and
Oh.
into her womb, and sucks out the fetus in minutes
Oh my
while the woman is
goodness.
gagging and choking on this appendage.
Ugh.
Well, her dreams start to soften, and she's like, like kind of settling down. The appendage zips up into the sky out of her body, and it goes quiet.
Ugh. It just made me think of like a tapeworm.
Yeah,
Sorry. Ew. Gross.
right? Ooh, yuck. Tapeworms. Next morning,
Mhm.
lady wakes up, this young woman wakes up, and she feels some kind of emptiness
Mm.
while she's no longer pregnant.
Yeah.
So that is a story about Manananggal,
Yeah.
and that the creature that was on top of the roof was her in her other form, half like where she just has the torso and the bat wings, and
Yeah.
her tongue zips out of the room because she took off in flight once
And
she
she
got what
got what
she
she
needed.
wanted. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's horrible
yeah. So,
and gross.
and that is the story that you would hear a lot of times when women would have miscarriages.
Right. And I mean, that makes sense because a lot of times, a lot of these like folk tales come around to try and explain the unexplainable. And especially if young, healthy woman,
Right.
they have a hard time explaining like why she couldn't continue her pregnancy. So they would, they'd come up with these types of these folk tales to try and explain it. Just like with like vampirism and stuff like that, they
Oh
have
yeah.
different from different like plagues and things like that they were trying to explain.
Why they would do bloodletting and stuff like
Yeah.
sanguination, and like, yeah, they come from like, they make up folk tales, or they not make them up necessarily, but they turn to what they've been told by generational, like
Yeah.
generations and generations and generations, and
Yeah.
these things become real.
Yeah. And most of the time it's just to explain the unexplainable and the unknown, especially when so long ago, when
Right
before they
before
had
we
a
had our
lot of
phones in our hands,
yeah.
before we had a computer walking around in our pockets every day.
Yeah. Which I think, especially in the instance of a miscarriage, I think having a computer in your pocket all the time is probably not the healthiest thing because you're going to obsess and you're going to continue to look why.
Why? Could it be the microwaves from my phone?
Yeah.
Like, all these things, and you'll obsess doing WebMD. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is what I have on the Penanggalan and the Manananggal. So,
Creepy.
yeah, hope you were entertained.
Also, I'm hoping that you're glad I didn't post pictures.
Right. I actually have to show you. I was writing up this episode and I had a little doodle session where I had the differences between the Penanggalan and the Manananggal drawn up.
Okay.
Just a
Okay.
head and torso. Half of the torso is hidden in the trees. The other, her whole entire body's just in bed. Like,
That's so weird.
right?
Hmm.
Don't you love my entrails?
Yeah. Yeah, but like there was this pen I got in like a mixed, I don't know. It had a bunch of different like anime stuff in it. And this pen, you would turn it and the like head would come off of the girl.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, "What is this?" And but it was from Japan. But
Oh
like
my
they're all
gosh.
Asian descent, all
Yeah.
of them. So I mean, it could have been something along the same lines.
Oh yeah, I mean Japanese tales of folklore have all kinds of different female based folkloric characters.
Okay.
Like the Kichisokeona or Kuchisake Kichisakeone or something. I can't say it because she's the masked woman, and
Okay.
she's always wearing a surgical mask, and she asks you if she's pretty, and if you say
Oh.
no, she'll take off her mask and say, "Am I pretty?" And you see like a Joker smile because she's cut from ear to
Ugh.
ear. Yeah. Anyways,
Yikes.
Kuchisakeone is another one, or one for another time because she's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Um, okay.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, but that's what I have for now for today.
All right. Join us next time for another episode on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to trust no one.
Question everything. And if you want to reach us and send us your stories, or anything related to creepy history, creepy stories that you have, camping, cryptid stories, anything related to summertime, we'd love to hear right now. You can
Yeah.
reach us at suspectionpod@outlook.com. Again, we'd love to hear your stories. You can reach us at suspectionpod@outlook.com. And we have an Insta.
Yes, our Instagram is at SuspectionPod, and in our bio, you can find links for our Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. We also have a Patreon. The Patreon this month will be Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams, how you doing?
And if you're unfamiliar with that case, I would definitely check it out.
Check it out. How you doing? Just shout it out. Yep, I'm obsessed and I can't wait. I'm so excited for it.
Also, I'm considering dropping next week's early. So you might see it posted early. Next week's episode is Slenderman.
Yes.
Well, the Tulpa, but focused on Slenderman.
Yes. So beware for that and be prepared and get ready because it's going to be good.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.